Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back to Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So, last time we met up with Govenor Clario, and basically he told us that we need to find a researcher over at the Digsite, and so that is where we are off to right now here. Let's head on outside to the port. Here we are, and we are going to make our way out of town. So we got a, what is this? I must have run into something here. Port shop. While on a city map, you can select, I guess, a crate there to use the port shop and resupply your ship. Okay, so no, that actually leads us... okay, here we go. Leave town on foot. That's what I was looking for. It will take you 1 hour and 47 minutes to exit the city. Kind of curious that it took us this long just to get into the town last time when it was just instant. Okay, so we were told that this thing is somewhere to the east. And let's see. So we got some woods up there. Looks like that's our destination over there. And we gotta go through this pass to reach it. So let's see here. The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks, the sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Let's search the area. And we're gonna go with them. Edir makes sense of the chaos within moments. No blood spatters suggest it was not a fight, and your compatriot easily identifies the clawed prints of Zalrips. The tracks seem recent. Okay. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in dirt. Alright, so beyond a group of robed figures cringe and cower at a nearby river's bend. Each is frozen in place, ashen and gray, like statues crafted of soot. So let us disarm the trap. And we have it disarmed. Let's search for those Zalrips. You hear a series of quiet chirps and growls ahead, and make out the movement of small forms through the undergrowth. Let's draw our weapon and attack. Okay, so looks like, just surveying the battle scene here, it looks like we've got 2 of them. We'll gang up on one, and then we'll see how things go. Oh! There's actually more there, so let's see what else we can do. Let's try to do a knockdown on this one so we can stop the incoming damage a little bit. And as for him, let's do a crippling strike. Alright, let's see how that plays out. Okay. And now we've got them flanked. Alright. So far, so good. Let's pause it real quick, and let's go for another knockdown if we can against that one. There we go. Got it. They are taking a good bit of damage here. But it looks like that's the end of the battle.
What do you
So
need?
let's go ahead and collect the loot. And we'll take it all.
I got it.
Now what else is in the area here? Alright, that's going to lead us out of here. Now I learned in the intervening time, since the last episode, that I can hold tab to see other icons on the map. So that is something that I am doing here as well. Looks like that's all that there was to this, actually. Just some combat. Okay. Then let's get out of here. Okay. We'll proceed up to here. And now let's make camp. Oh, actually, looks like they might be at full health here, so... Okay, in that case, let's just head into the dig site. Okay, so we need to find Engwithan. Or rather, we need to find the researcher here. Okay, here's something. Hardtacks. Alright, so we got a Luminous Adra pool here. Let's check that out. Aha! Combat!
Take him down.
Yeah. Sure.
Let's try a knockdown on this one.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah, combat is fairly simple in this, or at least it seems that way for the early levels here.
Take him down.
I'm sure eventually it'll get really complicated.
Hey.
Alright, we gotta level up. Let's grab everything that we can. And let's go ahead and take advantage of that now. So, let's see. My guy is pretty good at athletics at this point here. Yeah, let's give him an extra point in explosives. And let's do a point in intimidate. Through physical imposition, raw intensity, and overt threats, intimidate allows a character to leave onlookers shaken and cowed. Though not everyone responds well to intimidation, it can be used as an effective tool of persuasion. And so what I can do is I can use my my diplomacy first, and if that fails, then I can intimidate whoever I'm trying to get something from. So let's see here. Fighter stances. The fighter trains in the ability to adopt specialized fighting stances. Each stance excels at handling a different aspect of combat. Defender stance is apt for holding fast against groups of enemies. Cleaving stance is effective for attacking several enemies at once. while warrior stance is best for standing toe-to-toe against a single enemy. So that could be useful. Once again, I'm trying to make my character kind of a tank, so I could definitely see using that there. Now, let's see here. Okay, so we got weapon and shield. Actually, what is this? Into the fray. The fighter lunges through the battle, pulling an enemy into immediate melee range, causing crush damage and leaving them dazed. You know what? Let's do that at this point here. I think that'll give me an extra ability to use here. Okay. And now we need to unlock, or we need to level him up as well. So for him, since he's kind of the thief of the group, let me just check through mechanics first here. Traps and locks can be a problem. Yeah, okay, so really we need to kind of keep him kind of balanced against these three here. This will allow him to disable traps. Sleight of hand will allow him to lift some coin if I need that, or we can also make him more stealthy. So I believe stealth is going to be more important first before traps, and then we'll make sleight of hands kind of a lower priority than those two. And as for what I want him to be good in here, as a thief, or rather as a rogue, he would need to be good in Streetwise, which basically, as it says here, Streetwise covers the basic rules of survival one learns on the streets and back alleys of major cities. It includes urban readiness, as well as appropriate etiquette for dealing with unsavory types. So that could get me in with some other places that might not necessarily be available to somebody that is just completely stout of heart. Now, let's see. So he's already got sneak attack. In terms of the next ability he's going to get, so these seem to be more defensive. This grants an additional weapon set. No, he is not a monk. So let's give him... Actually, what is this? Escape. And... Alright, he's already got Crippling Strike. So, Backstab. So, Backstab dramatically increases damage done from stealth or invisibility. The rogue may use melee or ranged weapons, but must be within 2 meters of the target. Alright, so that's going to require that he go into stealth, so this will be good for like an initial hit in combat. I don't know if he can actually stealth again while in combat. Okay, and he actually had another level up waiting here. So let's give that one to mechanics. And we'll also give one to survival. And now what he's got here, Smoke Veil. The rogue creates a small cloud of smoke that hides their presence. So that would work with the Backstab that we just got. Blinding Strike, a dirty attack that makes the opponent unable to see, blinding the target. This allows him to use a weapon in each hand. Dirty Fighting, the rogue employs a variety of underhanded tactics, turning some of their hits into critical hits. While wielding a single one-handed weapon, some of the attacker's hits are converted to crits. And... okay, so I think then what I'll actually do is, since I want to get those crits more often, since those are going to do extra damage, we'll go with the Dirty Fighting first. And then This is talking about a single one-handed weapon, so in that case, we'll just go with dirty fighting, and then we'll look at what options we got next after that. Oh, actually, we got 2 ability points here. So in that case, let's also go with the Smoke Veil.
Yeah?
Okay.
Hey.
Now, what do we have down here? A couple of pots, it looks like. We'll take those. And Luminous Adra Dust. Looks like that's it for down here. I kind of want to take this place kind of really carefully here, because who knows if there's a potential to get trapped here. Actually, what happened to this guy here? Whoops! Ancient Training Hall. Let's check that out. Alright, we got a skeletal warrior here. And we're going to open up with a knockdown.
Would you?
Oh, there's a trap. That's fine, as long as we don't get near there. Alright, looks like we knocked him down.
I need something stronger. Let's go.
Alright, so they're complaining about the weapon that they've got. So we'll have to look at that after this battle. Let's see here. And let's give the Into the Fray a try here. Actually, it looks like we can't do that. Alright, they are trying to flank us. So, let's get into the conga line of death.
Need something stronger.
What do you need?
He's actually taken quite a few hits here. So let me see if I can move him out of there.
I need some help here.
Yeah, he really needs help. What equipment does he have? He has a stun bomb, a potion of minor healing. Let's go ahead and use one of those. If possible. Okay, there we go. So, everything that's going on, there is a delay with that.
I need something stronger. Let's go.
Sure.
Yeah. Take him down.
Actually, this is not looking that good in terms of this fight. So let's get out of here in that case then.
Sure.
Oh, we actually can't then. Is there anything that can be done at this point? Could do the Empower here. And we try to heal both of them up. Well, that could be useful actually here.
No.
Okay, so that did some healing. Oh, that actually finished them off. Okay. Alright, so in that case, let's go ahead and check out our stash here. I want to see if there are additional weapons that might work for us. I don't think so. He's got his bow, which could be useful. But what I'd really like to get both of them is essentially a bashing weapon. That would be really useful for those guys. Alright, what potions do we have? Let's give him another minor potion of healing. And is there anything else? Looks like we might have something. Alright, so that's a ring. Give that to him. Oh, that's for a hat. Looks like it's just aesthetic. It doesn't seem like it would really do much. Let's see. Oh, actually, we do have this warhammer, and that could be that could potentially count as a bashing weapon. Okay, and let's take that out of here. Okay, so they actually both have base armor rating of 7 there. Yeah, so there really isn't that much else that we can do for them here. Let me at least give my guy a better shield. To go with that warhammer. Okay, I think that's it for the moment then.
Right. I like how this feels.
Alright, so now we have to deal with that trap.
Yeah?
There we go.
I got it.
That gets him some experience. Ooh.
I'm fine.
I wonder why why it didn't go off that time, unless that was a perception thing. Triggering a trap or being knocked out during combat will apply an injury to that character. Injuries remain on a character until they use food or drink while resting, or by resting at an inn. Press the campfire button in the lower center of the screen, or use the R key to rest. So, they both have burns. Let's give them some ale. Okay.
I've got it.
So this statue bears elaborate detail from the buckles of the warrior's greaves to his curly locks.
On it.
Hey, I was just asking for a blunt weapon. Alright.
Hey.
So let's give that to him. And we'll give him that shield.
Well, don't see why not.
Now, if we run into any more skeletons, we won't have a problem. The problem with slashing weapons is they're not very effective against skeletons. Now, what do we have here? Yes, another skeleton. So, let's change to weapon set 2. He's on 2. And we'll open like we did last time with a knockdown. Maybe it missed. he's taking some damage again.
That wasn't half bad.
Now, Gon's Pledge shares a generous portion of the caster's divine strength, restoring a significant amount of health to all allies in the area of effect. So that could be useful as well for some healing, which we're going to need pretty soon here.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. Alright, that takes care of that skeleton. Let's grab what we can. And
Yeah?
come on, you.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there was another... Alright, how do I stealth again? This button. Alright.
I've got it.
The training dummy has long since been frozen into immobility by age. And they are burning again, so we're gonna have to deal with that again. Let's do... Let's give them some fresh fruit.
Keeping an eye out.
Okay, so now we're in stealth, so...
It's nothing.
Yeah?
Alright, what is this guy's problem? Why is he having trouble perceiving things?
Hey, this brings back some memories, huh?
How do you like Deadfire?
Air's different. Especially compared to Gilded Vale, where there's more livestock than shovels. Sounds different, too. You wake up to all those bird calls, it really does sound like they're making music. If the birds woke you in Gilded Vale, it was usually a couple crows making the most horrible mating noises you ever heard. Strange thing is, I still get this feeling in me, like I wish I was home.
What did you do after we ended the legacy?
I like that feeling, knowing we'd stopped Theos. We were part of something big. That was something I never felt before, not even at war. Guess I went looking for it again. Not that I wanted to tangle with gods, but something smaller. Something I thought I could manage. I looked all around the Deerwood, but that place has too many ghosts for me. Things I'd just as soon forget. Ended up moving to Adir and tracking down my parents. They went there as refugees after the war ended.
Alright, let's get moving.
Right. Yeah? Nice and slow.
Let's have him lead.
Huh? Sure.
Actually, it looks like that's it for this area here. So in that case, we'll just head out. And we're in combat. Alright, so I think we've already fought a couple of these here, so... we'll do that. And I think we're okay to just start it.
I got it. Here we go. Take him down. Almost. Okay.
Having a little trouble attacking them. More because I'm thinking I need to click on the actual target, but no, you're looking for the target circle underneath it. Alright, this looks important. Alright, what just paused things? Oh, we got a panther. So for that, we'll switch back over to the other weapons. And let's start with a knockdown.
Take him down.
Well, if we can, anyway. There we go. Now let's do that leap.
Sorry, friend. I can't. That order. What do you need?
Alright, if that's not gonna work, let's get some healing going.
Sure.
Actually, let's get some room here to actually fight.
May I be a candle in the night.
Yeah.
I need help here.
Yep, I can see that. We'll have him hide in the smoke veil. And now let's give them a potion. Sometimes I can't even tell if what I'm doing is actually going to activate something.
Yeah?
Okay, there we go. Alright, we'll finish the young panther and then we'll move on to its buddy. Second wind.
Let's go.
I need some help here.
Alright, he is going down pretty quick again. But it looks like we've knocked out one of the targets. Alright, he went down, but he got himself back up.
Yeah.
I wonder why my character keeps stop attacking after he does one of those interrupts. Really doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Some help here.
Got it. No, God. Sure.
Alright, he's back up again. Let's go ahead and loot. And now let's see if we can get a quick rest in here.
Right.
Alright, so
I've got
what's this? Alright, so this is starting to look like people have been turned to stone, potentially.
Sure.
And if that be the case, not really sure what we can do to help them. Looks like we got another panther here.
it.
Let's try that backstab.
Leave it to me.
It looks like it missed.
I'm on it.
Why is my guy just standing there?
I'm on it. Yeah?
It seems like after every ability they just stop attacking for some reason. That really doesn't make sense to me.
Well, don't see why not.
Alright, is there anything that we can see over here? There is a door. Several men and women appear to be locked inside a cage of some kind. They're little more than silhouettes behind the glass, pointing and gesturing excitedly.
You out there, are the beasts gone?
I took care of the creatures. The woman turns away to have a muffled exchange with the others. Then she pulls at something by the door, and you hear a rattling clank.
Perfetto! We are saved!
A young man with bright eyes and a twitching smile claps his hands in joy as he steps out of the cage. The woman next to him, however, remains sober. I wonder what happened to that other voice that was playing initially in the game.
Govenor Clario must have sent you to rescue us, no? But you do not look like one of his guards.
She rises onto the balls of her feet and peers behind you, as if searching for someone else. She looks to be only midway in her 30s, though the serious set of her mouth makes her seem older. Actually, Clario sent me to find Oderisi, or his notes. An older woman hawks an impressive gob of phlegm onto the ground and kicks a clump of dirt over it.
I told you the governor does not care about us. This is all about profit. For him, the rest of the Valiant.
Caloste!
She silences the others with a sharp look. She turns back to you with a resigned breath.
You are here, and that is what matters.
And what are you all doing?
Hiding, of course.
The corners of his mouth spasm. The cranky old woman next to him sighs and lays a comforting hand on his arm.
We were taking measurements of the luminous Adra when something strange began happening.
Fascinating. The pillar started to dim. The ground shook, and our instruments showed unusual variations.
That's when those of us with a grain of sense got into the cage.
She glares at the excitable young man, but he doesn't seem to notice. The cage?
Something we made to protect ourselves from surges in the luminous Adra. Those have not been a problem, but I am grateful today for unnecessary precautions.
What happened then?
The Colossus. Some kind of construct made from luminous Adra. It passed through the arena toward the pillar.
Vanessa closes her eyes.
Moments later, the pillar went dark, and all of our colleagues outside the cage froze. Like they turned to ash.
She goes quiet, her hands clasped in front of her. The young man leans forward, his eyes wide with a perverse kind of excitement.
That is when the panthers and worms showed up. Started going through the tents. It was awful, but Engfirth.
Vanessa shoots him a furious look, and he falls silent again. A confused and slightly injured expression crinkles his face.
Some of our people are still missing in the ruins, including Oderisi, our lead researcher. It is possible he managed to hide.
Her furrowed brow, however, suggests otherwise. If he didn't make it to the cage, you should prepare for the worst. She nods.
Most of the ruins are that way, through the door next to the ramp.
She points to a dark entrance in the eastern wall of the arena.
If you are going below, you should take Engfirth with you.
She turns and motions someone to the front of the group.
Hey, he looks just like...
Adair cuts himself off for reasons not yet apparent. His jaw hangs slack. A sharp-featured elf comes to the fore. As he meets your eyes, he gives you a knowing nod. He's earned a few new scars, but you recognize Corfsir all the same. He taps a finger to his lips, a sly smile working its way across them.
Engfirth knows a great many spells. At first, he even cast fire to chase away the panthers.
Until the flames nearly caught one of the tents.
You're making a really great case for Engfirth.
Outside of this cage, his skills would be a boon. I do not expect the ruins will be any safer. Many of our people remained behind, which has surely attracted more wildlife. It would be prudent to take help, as long as Engfirth is willing to go.
She looks quickly to Aloth. He nods.
I would be happy to assist.
He holds your gaze with wide, expectant eyes. I'll gladly accept his help. He gives you a quick smile.
Be careful, I'm Miko.
She gives Aloth's hand a quick squeeze before backing away.
I shall try.
Aloth nods at her before leading you a short distance away.
Thank you for your discretion. I'm certain you have many questions, but I fear they must wait until we're off this island.
He casts a regretful glance back at Vanessa and the Animancers. Very well, we'll talk later.
Indeed.
Okay, so this guy... Let's set them as a wizard.
What do you... I got it.
Okay. And... okay, pistol... Potion of Deafness. Let's look inside the tent here real quick. Whoever was in here left in the middle of drinking their tea. Pickaxe and lockpicks. That's something that we're gonna need. Probably. And let's check out the foreman's quarters.
Let's take a look.
Alright, so we got a few things we can, or a couple of things we can interact with, but we've got a cave beetle here first. Nice shot! Looks like that's it. Let's grab all that. Champion's Medallion. This small Adra disc was apparently to be worn as a medallion. One side of the disc depicts a figure with its arms raised triumphantly above its head, a blade in one hand and a shield in the other. The other side of the disc has been worn smooth with time and is unreadable. And note to foremen. One of the workers dug up this old Adra medallion in the sublevel yesterday. I doubt Oderisi would be interested in it, and besides, it looks like it's worth something. Might be nice to surprise the crew with a bonus. Alright. Grab that. And back out to the dig site.
I don't think I can pull that off.
Alright, so it doesn't seem like we can actually walk here. So the question is, where actually is this place we're looking for. Oh, wait a minute, it's right here. Alright.
Will do.
The copper bowl has tarnished to a dull blue-green. Grime and dust coat the surface in the thin film. Let's examine it a little bit more closely. At the bottom of the bowl is a shallow circular depression. You recognize the offering bowl, an artifact found in many Engwithian ruins. It would have been intended for use only by Engwithians who held high rank or had made some great achievement. In an arena such as this, a champion might fulfill that role. So let's place the champion's medallion into the depression, which means it was worth it for us to head into the foreman's office first.
Keeping quiet.
Here rests Xandros, most virtuous architect. And they have an amulet of health, some Adraban, and Ta'andra Tara. Okay, so that gives us a piece of equipment we can wear. So we'll drop that onto our tank.
Mm-hmm.
And let's get to exploring.
Poor fools. They were unprepared for this.
Alright, so we can either head through the door, or we can head down here. Let's check out the door, since that seems to be its own separate room.
I've got it.
And we got some crates here, reagents, and a pry bar. And here we got some binding copper, solution, and some hardtack.
Yeah?
Yeah, and who knows if there's actually a way to actually cure these guys being turned to stone. It's a shame I don't have any ash lime with me here. Oh, but that's a reference to another Phantasy Star game, sadly. Alright, what do we have here? Part of the statue near the legs has been forcibly removed. Praise to bold-hearted Averix, master of the blade. There seems to be something here. Alright, before we head down, we'll check out the other end of the hallway. Okay, that would seem to be some kind of a ghost here.
Take 'em down.
And I have no idea if my melee weapons are going to do anything to that.
Foes ahead.
Then again, do we actually have to engage them? We got... Oh, we've been spotted. Alright, so, Sporling, let's attack.
Oh, this is most unpleasant. Yes?
Indeed.
Alright, let's look at their spells, and... let's try launching... Alright. Don't seem to be able to hit both of them at the same time. Okay, it looks like the sporling is gone, though. So, in that case... Okay, combusting wounds. Let's fire that off.
Got it.
Oh?
That did something, at least. Looks like there's a limited number of spells available.
Aye? Of course.
Okay, is that it for combat? I think so. Alright, what do we have here? The walls here have collapsed inward, barring any further progress. And what is down
I'll see
here?
what I can find.
Alright, there's another will-o-wisp here. Alright, looks like that's it for that battle.
Indeed.
So we can head up.
Hey,
Alright, what is going on here? We got combat with some anomalies.
how may I help?
Alright, let's give that a try. Looks like that worked.
I shall.
How may I help?
Alright, so what do we actually have in here? Doesn't look like anything.
Could be a...
Alright, I see us in combat again here. I should probably extend that like that, just so I can see it a little bit better.
Will do.
What's going on? Let's see here. Animancer's hat, gunpowder, and a journal entry. It has been a stroke of unimaginable fortune to find an Adra vein in such pristine condition. The essence is so concentrated here that even from the far side of the corridor, the pillar's light pulses like a star. At times I almost feel as if I can sense it, like the warmth of sunlight upon the skin. We will need to reinforce the central chamber before attempting further excavations. The ruins are unstable, and Sila's motley workforce of savages and paupers grows more fearful by the day. With the assistance of a single watcher, we could trace the essence in the primary vein, and isolate those deposits worthy of extraction. I petitioned Director Castol and Nikitaka for such a resource, but I am continually rebuffed. It is unthinkable that the Valian Trading Company cannot isolate, within the vast borders of its considerable influence, a single suitable candidate. I must assume that the wretched Elite woman is hoarding them for her fanciful experiments. Transportation. As if we have the time to expend on such frivolities. Alright, and what else do we have here? Robe, hardtack and water,
Will do.
flint and tinder, and a couple of torches.
I've got it.
And Scroll of Minor Healing requires Arcana 1. Now, is that a single use, or is that something more? Doro the Reckless defeated 7 beasts barehanded. Moss and grime have scraped clear large portions of this mural, revealing the vibrant hues of the Engwithan figures beneath. Okay. So, looking at the map, let's head over there. Alright, I see that guy there.
That's Oderisi. See.
Alright, so it looks like that's the person we're looking for. Frozen mid-stride, this grim figure is turned toward the colossal pillar of Adra that dominates the chamber. The ashen corpse's outstretched hands rest upon the crystal's dulled surface. Clutched tightly in the remnants of a fist is a bundle of papers bound together by a leather cord. Several more pages are scattered on the ground at your feet.
Oderisi was always a bit obsessive, but he was a good enough fellow. I hope this was quick, whatever it was.
He leans forward, as if to close the figure's eyes or smooth its features, but merely clasps his hands with a troubled frown. As you pull the papers free, the ashen fingers gripping them slow away, disintegrating into a fine plume of dust. Alright, you have gained an item quest. Oderisi's notes that it was put into your stash. Standing here by the lone figure, you are struck with a feeling of dread. The air around you, the very motes of ash and dust, all of it is stagnant and still. The feeling grows worse when you look up at the Adra and sense no energy flowing into its surface. It is as though it has been disconnected from the wheel.
You place your hand against the pillar of luminous Adra. A dim, warm light emanates from the surface, but it feels cool to the touch. Pinpricks dance along your fingers, uncomfortable but not painful. A woman's voice, scratchy, distant, and halting, echoes in your mind.
Find your soul in him.
You concentrate, peering into the Adra's energy as you would peer into a soul. Its inner light is blinding, but as you become accustomed to it, you perceive the core of the Adra itself, a churning mass of millions of soul fragments. With a jolt, the energy reaches out to you. The Engwithan ruin fragments around you, breaking into incoherent shapes and dissolving to dust, falling into an infinite well of dark gray vapor. Even the ground itself disintegrates into nothingness. All that remains is the murky expanse of the in-between. The Adra pillar, and a skein of golden threads rooted in the pillar that extend far off into the distance. You focus on the threads. You catch glimpses of memories, your memories, mingled among the memories of thousands of other captive souls. The filaments begin to cohere, rapidly twining into a golden cord. With a muffled crack, the cord ripples outward in a violent wave toward the endless distance. The cord undulates over a space so vast that you lose sight of the wave before it finds its end. Then, a heavy creaking, like the sound of mountains shearing under their own weight, washes through the dull gloom of the in-between. A violent force yanks you along the cord at an incredible speed. The murk of the in-between warps erratically, as though you are observing it through an ill-ground lens. Just as quickly as you were pulled forward, you stop, suspended below a massive figure of ancient carved Adra. Like all Adra, it glimmers with energy, but the souls and memories within it are not flowing down. They churn in a vortex, that burns at the heart of the statue's mass in some invisible engine. It is Aethys. The great golden cord terminates in his back, sending pulses of energy throughout his limbs as they move. He walks in long, slow strides toward a brilliant pillar of Adra far in the distance. It shines even more brightly in the in-between than Aethys. From within the teeming throng of souls, dozens of eyes look out to you. Through the cord, their collective anguish and despair push at the edge of your mind.
Help us! Please! Help us!
Their voices echo in your mind. Somewhere within their ranks, you can feel the presence of your own soul slumbering deeper in the gyre.
Alright. So as I was mousing over there briefly, I got some kind of prompt here. Okay, that was just a reminder of who Aethys was. Let's push past the lost souls to find our own soul.
You attempt to evade the lost souls and find yourself within Aethys. But the incredible power flowing through the god's body repulses you. Not even your Watcher powers can penetrate the massive tides of energy crashing through him. The souls sense your presence and continue to desperately cry out to you. Aethys' stride slows and stops. His head slowly pivots until its great burning eyes are cast back along the cord. As his gaze meets yours, you feel an overwhelming rush of incredible joy mingled with profound sadness. You have sensed similar anguish in lost souls, but never with this intensity. A soothing voice drifts into your mind.
It takes great bravery to venture through the in-between, even for a Watcher.
A swell of admiration radiates out from the god's heart, a force so intense that it momentarily overwhelms you.
You do not need to follow me, for their sake or your own. Something beautiful is coming. Something that will save us all.
A great light shines from Aethys' brow, so bright that even the souls within him flinch from the source, cowering in fear. Through the glare, you see Aethys' massive arm reach up to grasp the golden cord. The tether carrying energy from the Adra pillar to him, that also suspends your consciousness.
What does that mean?
The sun will yet rise, Watcher. You need only wait for its light to come.
Aethys yanks on the golden cord, pulling it from his back. The cord tears into filaments that blacken and dissolve to dust. Without pause, he turns to resume his stride toward the distant pillar of Adra, shining on the boundless horizon. You hear the souls within him cry out for just a moment, before your consciousness is snapped away from them. The in-between goes dark. For a second, you feel a mix of nausea and a sensation like spinning and falling. Then the moment ends. Your consciousness has returned to the Angwithan arena. The world is sideways, the Adra pillar upside down. You flinch at the feeling that you're standing on the ceiling. The disorientation overwhelms you and you collapse to your knees next to the luminous Adra pillar. Previously dim and flickering, the pillar now glows with a strong and steady light. You touch the Adra again, but the chill and prickling sensations you felt before are gone, replaced with a comforting warmth, like the embers of a fire that has just lost its flame.
As you return to the world, you feel a hand on your back.
You alright? Come on, we just got you back.
I'm fine.
I heard you say that before. Had something to do with a 2,000-year-old lunatic talking to you in your dreams. I've seen you commune with souls of the dead, but this looked altogether different. What happened?
His gaze flickers to the brightly glowing Adra. Typical. Just when I'm on the verge of getting some answers from a god, he cuts me off.
They've got to employ their priests somehow.
He grins with a sly mischief.
Don't suppose he told you what he's up to, did he? Or at least where he's going?
He was headed towards another pillar of luminous Adra.
How hard can it be to find in a chain of thousands of islands?
Alright. So let's, was there anything else that we could do with this guy here? Doesn't seem like that. Let's see.
Isn't this a bit much? I shall.
Now, there was still a couple of other places in here we needed to check out. Now, there's this corner down here, and then down here as well. A rusted copper construct. Okay, so... looks like we're able to level up, so let's do that first before we get going here. Put a point into... Actually, let's put a point into athletics. And... a point into diplomacy. It doesn't seem like we're able to get to this tier just yet here. This determination looks like it would be good. Plus 20 to all defenses against intellect, affliction, perception, affliction, constitution, affliction attacks. Okay. Oh, and we can train in another weapon now. Oh, and now that I look, that warhammer that we got was good for piercing blows. This one is more for slashing. But again, the proficiency is not the ability to use the weapon. It's more a special skill that you're able to use when you have that weapon equipped. So this one, warhammers have the tactical flexibility of a morning star in a much smaller size. By switching from the flat side of the head to the pick, wielders can adapt their damage type to the opponents they are facing. Oh, I see here. It also works to crush. Okay. And this gives us piercing blows. Strike with heavy piercing attacks, gaining additional penetration at the cost of recovery time. Okay. Alright. And we'll put a point into mechanics. And we'll go with streetwise here. And let's do 2-weapon style. Now, he's already good with the saber. Let's also give them a point into mace. For rending smash, the character swings the mace with massive force, damaging the target's armor at the cost of recovery time. Okay. Alright, for this guy, we'll do a point into Arcana. And let's do a point into... Let's see. Actually, Insight would probably be good for him. Ah, now here we can choose a bunch of spells. You know what? It's probably a better idea if I boost his defenses first. Unless there are two-handed staffs in this. Yeah, it looks like there might be for a caster. Alright, this Merciless Gaze would allow him to do something that will essentially allow critical hits to land more often. So let's go with that. And we'll give him Mace ability as well here. Alright, so we have combat to deal with here. Jolting Touch will do shock damage. Actually, let's stealth up. And try to get in a little closer.
Foes ahead.
Oh, we've been seen. Alright, so in that case, Jolt it is. And then for these two, just go ahead and attack. Alright, there we go, flanked. Interrupt. Some abilities specify that they can interrupt a character. When a character is hit with an interrupt, their current action is lost along with any resources, including quick items, they were using. Interrupts can be blocked by concentration. If a character with concentration is hit by an interrupt, they lose their concentration but are not interrupted. Alright, so in that case... let's see, who actually are the targets here? It's these two. And I don't want to hurt my buddies if I can help it. So, in that case, let's do that. Hopefully that will actually hit.
Of course. No mercy!
Alright, this seems to be going well.
Yes? They'll fall by my hand. Not even close. Right?
There we go.
How may I help?
Alright, let's see what we got. Some, binding copper. And over here, a sword, a balloon, and a pickaxe.
Don't you have on it Other, of course.
And I guess we can't go down there, so... moving on. So we need to head down to here now.
I've got it.
Nice and slow. We're not.
Okay, we got some worms over there. Or actually, no, that's brine imps. We can take care of them.
No mercy!
Alright, that spell was pretty effective there. Do you two want to maybe swing?
Sure.
That's it!
It feels like half the time I'm more fighting the game engine than actually controlling my party the way I want them controlled. Alright, let's grab these horns. Alright, lots of supplies in here. Hammer and chisel. Tattered note. I wasn't sure about the constructs at first. These new techniques may be less extreme than those of eccentrics like Govenor, but it gets harder to remember that once the hulking things are moving around like large, noisy, witless dolls. The constructs require daily maintenance, and they make the workers uncomfortable. Still, they've been an effective deterrent to the local wildlife, and I have to admit I've started to feel safer with one of them standing nearby while I work. Oderisi despises the things and avoids them if possible. That alone is a considerable benefit. Okay. And what do we have in here? Alright. And... okay, we've already been in there.
I've got it.
And we got an Estoc sword here. Alright. Looks like that's it for this room. And now we got something over here. These ornate bronze fixtures appear to be braziers. Soot lines the interior of their metallic petals, and you spy fresh coal beneath a filigreed grating. Someone lit these recently. Had you the means, you might do the same. So in that case, let's light things up with a torch. Nothing happens for a moment, and then the brazier ignites in a sudden rush of flame. Alright, let's save here real quick. And let's go ahead and light this one as well. You scarcely touch the flame to the brazier's surface when it catches with a hollow roar. The flame jets downward, moving into a narrow channel connecting both braziers.
Well, at least it didn't catch us by surprise.
Alright, And now we got these things on the ground, so what exactly is this? Oh, maybe that's why I'm having trouble with my characters. The AI is not active. Let's see if Aloth has anything to say about the situation.
Let us speak again once we've left Port Marge.
Okay. Is there any way to use that insight? Okay, let's head up here. Was there a hint here? Alright, so took 2 hooks with a diamond on top, and then this kind of X shape. Do we see those down here? We do. So we'll do that, that, and that. Try that. There we go. And we've got a gladiator sword. And some jade. Cool. Let's put that onto our main character here. Let's see, where is that? Over here. So, did somebody else take it? Doesn't seem like it. Oh, it's right here. 17 to 25. Yeah, that's definitely an upgrade. Okay. Alright, let's make our way out of here. As the souls move past you, some turn their head in your direction, but most seem fixated below you, on the Adra pillar beneath your feet. A few nod their heads in thanks or raise a hand to acknowledge your presence.
You're doing it again. That look, like you couldn't beat a Hollowborn in a personality contest.
Adir passes his hand back and forth across your eyes.
You want to share what you're seeing, or do I gotta guess?
Souls, dozens of them, maybe hundreds. They're all going to the Adra pillar.
What do you suppose that's about? Maybe they got food in there.
A small group of souls has started to cluster around you. One of them is standing a bit closer than the others, and gestures for your attention.
Watcher, we'd like to come with you.
Of course, I'll protect you.
You have our thanks. We appreciate that you showed us the way to the Adra. But what if it goes dark, before we reach the Beyond?
The other souls around her nod in agreement.
Thank you, Watcher.
Okay. Alright, let's see what else we got in the area. So Mariner's Porridge. Some vegetables. And water.
We will remain here to see to our dead.
Alright then, let's get out of here. Alright, so we need to make our way back to town. Before we do that, let's just take a quick look around the area, because I don't know if we're going to be coming back anytime soon. Oh, there's a shipwreck here. Waves batter a splintered hull that doggedly refuses to sink. Whoever abandoned this may have left something behind. You find an abandoned dhow half buried in the sand. Wind whistles through gaping holes in its hull, making the sun-bleached wood creak and moan. Unopened cargo crates lie scattered around the wreckage. Let's sift through that wreckage. You take some time to explore the wreckage, and find nothing of value. Let's continue searching the ship, then. Now, who is that? You continue poking about the wreck, 4 hours past, and find some usable ship supplies in a crate. You've searched the ship top to bottom. There's nothing left of value. Alright. Is there anything down here? There might be. Got some hardtack. Alright, let's go ahead and save again. And let's check out these, woods here real quick. Thick woodland spread to the east of Port Mahé, slowing your travel. Birds flitter above you, and insects drone incessantly. The path eventually gives way to a game trail, then to no path at all. You find a curiously marked tree, the bark gouged away in a pattern. The striations seem to run upward from right to left, just shy of vertical. Let's examine those markings. Adir examines the gashes in the wood, then plucks a tuft of hair from the side of the tree. It looks like there's been some kind of combat. Look at this! A sigil has been lightly carved into the wood, so faint as to be almost imperceptible. You press carefully into the forest, your clothes damp with the humidity and the water dripping from the trees above. A quiet rustling in the underbrush draws your attention northward, deeper into the forest. Let's hide in the undergrowth. You duck silently behind a log and still your breathing. Whatever's making the sound draws nearer. Through a gap in the foliage, you make out a tall island Alma, standing among a small sounder of wild boars. Matted copper hair hangs over his features, and the boar's hides drape his frame. Despite his presence, the swine seem entirely at ease. Let's say greetings. The man stands abruptly, spinning on you, his staff raised as if ready to strike. Akira, then who are you? For what are you here? The Hoana language thickens his accent. Adir perks up at the sight of the boars, alternately imitating their grunts and chuckling. Only at length, in what appears to be a heel-dragging afterthought, does his attention at last turn to the strange man in their midst. Dirt darkens the folds of the man's skin. His lips curl over jagged teeth. He waves the stick at you.
No, never talk. Just go. Leave this forest. Go leave these islands. Go return from where you've been.
His Edrin is halting, the language thick in his mouth. I came here looking for you. The people on the coast said you could help me. Let's see if this check works.
They always think they know better than this kith in this wood. Then when they need help, they always go ask me. You go, speak quickly then. Your words disturb this place.
Look, I just want to pass through this forest.
No, your sort always want. This forest is not yours. This land is not yours. Go, leave.
I'm hunting a god. If I fail, your islands will not be spared his wrath. The man frowns, then pulls a leather-wrapped pouch from within his belongings. Hands shaking, he hands it to you. You have gained an item, Wise Teeth Necklace. The item was put into your stash.
Then go, take this. They protect you if you speak true. They tear out your throat if no.
He dismisses you with a wave. Alright, what else is there here? Alright, is there any other way to, like, try to get on this guy's good side? Is there, like, a way to call out to him, or...
Always wanting more. I've given you what you asked for. You go now.
Alright, what happens if I try to go around him? Well, that seems to have worked. Further when we go. So this takes us to an old battleground, it looks like. It isn't always easy to judge who fought or why, but what belongings the dead leave behind is a legacy that anyone can claim. You find a field strewn with ancient corpses. It must be the site of a battle that happened long ago. There might yet be something salvageable among the fallen. And let's search the location. You take some time to explore the battlefield. 4 hours pass. And find... Okay, I think that's a typo there. And find some armor that's still in remarkably good condition. You've gained an item, leather armor. Let's keep searching. You continue to poke about the area for 4 hours. And find a small trinket in one of the body's packs. Gained an item, cloak of protection. And we found some mail armor. You've wandered the length of the battlefield. There's nothing left of any value. Okay. So, with that done, let's make our way back over to town. Alright, now... this seems to be a location that's locked here. Oderisi Street? Let's start there. Because I think our pack is starting to get a little full, so I also want to see if we're maybe able to sell something. As you make your way along through the side streets of Port Mahé, you come upon visible traces of the storm's passing. Many of the houses here boast cracked window panes and sagging awnings, and you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still slick with water and silt. Before long, you are ankle-deep in sucking mud and loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water level rises to the knees. Most of Port Mahé's residents have fled this region for dry land. But the murmur of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash suggest you are not entirely alone. Alright. So it looks like there's something over there. Let's go ahead and head into stealth. It has to be here. She must have hid it. Alright. So we got a couple of looters here.
Yes?
Let's open up. And now let's get ready to get into combat here. Okay, hidden objects. Hidden objects can be discovered while exploring. A character's ability to discover hidden items is tied to their perception. Okay, let's make sure everybody is actually attacking here. Oh, actually, it looks like that took that guy down with just one blast. Let's see here. Let's do a jolting touch. Oh, and I see that there's another target over there or something. Alright, let's get a curing spell going. Alright, there's the other target. Alright, looks like that's the end of combat.
How may I help? Indeed.
Now let's go ahead and speak to this guy here.
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
What's the last thing you remember?
Pain. I came to help one of the traders gather her belongings. Then other men came. They struck me over and over. Is that why I cannot see?
I'm sorry, but you're dead. Come with me, I'll help you.
Dead? Oh, but this is terrible.
The spirit sighs, wispy shoulders slumping.
Ikara, I will follow. You are hard to lose sight of.
The soul brushes up against you, too close for comfort. Alright, let's see what these guys had. Arquebus, which is some kind of a spirit, looks like. And an ancient tablet. This fragile tablet was painstakingly etched in Engwithan ruins several thousand years ago. The festival lanterns shine with a warm yellow glow tonight, bobbing on the light breeze from the sea. The young folk dance and tell tales of years long past, their laughter loud enough to shake the very Adra beneath our feet. And the children for whom we do this, our future, they steal sweets from the banquet tables. They wrestle and tease and fight as children ought, and my soul swells with pride. Together we celebrate the end of our work and look forward to new beginnings, a shining horizon where we Anguithans and our Hana brethren labor as one for the glory and illumination of all kith. Tonight, Poko Kohara, our masterpiece, sits resplendent, a testament to all that our cultures have striven toward, all that we might gain. And yet, even if our calculations are sound and our construction sturdy, if the machine works as intended, it will be but one small step along the twisting road we must walk together. But if we can harness the power of souls, if we can control the cycle of life and death, the journey will be worth it, no matter how arduous or how long. But now is not the moment for questions of philosophy. Tonight we join hands and sing, and tomorrow our work of generations begins. At last it begins. Alright, let's check out the bucket here. There is a protective Ethosian charm. And Mother of Pearl. Mother of Pearl can be scraped from the outer layers of pearls, though it is most commonly harvested from the shells of some clams and sea snails. It is prized for its subtle iridescence and is often used to create jewelry or as an inlay for wooden furniture and instruments. Alright, and let's check out the loot over here. So, potions, silver loose, hoods, padded armor, a hatchet, valiant clothing, ripple sponge. Alright, so... okay, there's one more body over here. They just have a robe on. And what is in the crate over here? Repair supplies, and a gray cape. Alright, and who is this over here?
Nothing but endless grey mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
Turns out there's a lot about that they don't tell you.
You seem to know where you are going.
The soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Clearly, the intelligent thing is to follow you, yes?
Sure, I can get you to where you need to go. The spirit falls into step behind you, her essence drawing a dissipating trail along the ground.
I've got it.
Either the former inhabitants or looters have taken most of the home's
Will do.
contents. A few scraps of detritus float upon the dark waters. Alright. And now, who is this?
Clay? You the invasion force, big man? Deadfire company send you out ahead?
The young elf's hand drops to the pistol in his belt, palming the grip. The faintest hint of a sneer plays about his lips as he watches you, unblinking. What are you doing here?
Ekosi? This is my street. That doesn't change after a little rain. That's Storm Speaker. She didn't concern herself much with this place, did she?
He kicks at the water, splashing noisily.
Me and my gang, we keep the peace here, and the locals pay their dues. Nothing here now but what they left behind. Come now, did the Watch Commander send you? Are her guards cowering away in their own cells while you save the day?
Ilari gives a hoarse, unpleasant cackle. Don't really have a reason to attack them. Unless they happen to pick up whatever those looters were looking for. Let's check the other side of the street and then we'll see if there's anything else going on. I mean, let's be honest, what else is there in this area here? The whole area is essentially flooded. At the same time, we can't even get into any homes here. All right, let's save and let's see if we can do something about this situation here. Ilari's the boss here, not me. You want to talk? Talk to Ilari. All right, let's get this rumble going.
The invasion force. Merla.
Ilari brings up his pistol, lips curling back into a grimacing snarl. Alright, so... looks like we got a good shot at... Actually, no, that's, I'm standing in the middle there, so... let's take out the two thugs first. While he's doing that, we'll go after them. And I will see if I can drop this guy. Here we go. Okay. Get some healing going here. There we go. Let's see here. Crippling strike there. And he is out of spells, so he's just gonna have to use his wand at this point.
Let's go. How may I help? That's it.
Alright, he is almost gone. And there we go. Let's see what we got. Silver loose, padded armor, a club, ripple sponge, cloak of deflection. Nice. And then what does this one have? A club, armor, and a peridot.
Indeed.
Alright, that pretty much finishes up this area then. So, let's make our way over to the harbor. Let's head for the harbor first.
You have to do something. Any of us could be next.
Oh? I cannot imagine who might wish to harm you, Mestre.
I'm wondering if there's like an inn or something like that around here somewhere. There's a jail there. All right, let's meet up with Govenor Clario then.
On it.
All right, that must be them.
What can I do for you?
I have information for you about the Digsite.
At last, Belfetto, tell me, please, what has happened? How much have we lost? I must know.
I'm sorry, some of your animancers made it, but I'm afraid Oderisi was killed when Aelthis arrived.
I see. I suppose we are fortunate to have any survivors. And Oderisi's notes. His research?
Clario's gaze searches yours with almost feverish anticipation. Look, we're gonna have to give this to him if we want to get our ship fixed.
You did. Gods be kind.
Clario takes the bundled notes from you with barely restrained urgency. Within moments, he is flipping through the papers, his eyes sweeping back and forth across the pages.
Belfetto! Belfetto! We are saved!
Clario lets out a relieved, almost giddy laugh, looking up with you with a toothy grin. A grin he hides soon after, beneath a cough and a look of some regret.
That is, Oderisi's legacy is not wholly lost. I like to believe the man would find that pleasing.
He folds the papers once again and sets his hands over them protectively.
You say this is all the work of the Titan, of Aeotis, and you still insist on looking for him? He destroyed your ship, killed my people. Would it not make more sense to sail to the far side of the world and away from all this?
This is the god of light we're talking about.
You are too trusting in your superstition. Believe in what you have seen and felt. The death of every man and woman at that Digsite.
Clario, I need your help. Aelthis is looking for Adra pillars like the one in the arena.
It would explain why the giant went for the Digsite, rather than attack us in the town, wouldn't it?
Clario sets a hand to his stomach. With the other, he pulls a handkerchief from his pocket to mop at his brow.
Merla. He will ravage every outpost in the Deadfire. That Adra is why we are here. Why everyone is here, in truth. The Valian Trading Company, the Royal Deadfire Company, countless mercenaries. You'll want to go to Neketaka. Queen Onekaza II rules there, at the Kahanga Palace. Anyone seeking to do business in the Deadfire archipelago must negotiate with her first. The Queen knows every Adra vein of worth in the Deadfire. I'm certain she can help you. That is, if she agrees to see you at all.
Is that unlikely?
Neketaka harbors many foreigners, but they count upon a small army of diplomats and emissaries to buy passage with words or coin. You have no one but yourself. That silver tongue of yours will be put to the test.
You promised to help me.
I have not forgotten. We will get you to Neketaka. And for that, you need your ship. I'll arrange it with Ekawa. Between the two of us, I'm certain we can gather the workers we need. Head down to the beach once you are ready to depart.
Thank you for the help.
Pompiaco. It is only right, after all you have done for me. I won't keep you further. You have a long and very strange journey ahead. Some advice. After you have had your audience with the Queen, seek out the Valian Trading Company. They make their headquarters in Neketaka, and the company always appreciates a good head.
Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and make our way back to our ship. And it looks like we got a bright and sunny day to work with here to get there. Although I'm curious why the torches are on. What supplies do we have? Oh, it looks like we can actually hire some members. I'm not entirely certain if we have a surgeon or not. We got plenty of wages, so yeah, let's bring them on. And let's grab a cannoneer as well. Alright, let's leave on foot.
Before venturing forth.
Alright, down to the south, where our ship was.
Good, you are here. Clario has made good on his promise. We are making ready to free your ship.
Ikawa gestures towards your vessel, where a motley group of Hana and Valiant workers are raced to and fro.
I say still that you are fortunate. The ship was nearly lost, but it will float. For how long, I cannot say. You will wish to find a friendly port with some speed, I think.
What if there's another storm?
Then you sink. Come. We will see your Defiant out to sea.
We should address the matter of our ship's resources before we get underway.
Okay.
It saddens me to inform you that we lost several crew and most of our provisions during the storm. However, Port Margé appears to be well supplied, and I expect the recent disaster has left several sailors in want of a ship. I suggest we contract for additional supplies and crew before we return to open water, or our voyage may indeed be a short one.
Got it. So who we picked up before, we were actually intended to pick all of them up. Let's make our way up to the port then. Okay, we encounter another ship at sea. As the Defiant leaves Port Mahé behind, you casually observe dozens of other ships coming and going, mostly fishing and trade vessels. One craft stands out, an imposing dhow, replete with cannons, crests into view across the Defiant's starboard bow. The flag raised high atop its sails signifies a wish to parley. However, the dhow approaches at an aggressive speed, suggesting that it may not be easily turned away. Let's do nothing. The distance closes quickly, and soon the massive dhow hull rolls on the wave beside your ship. Boarding planks emerge and are quickly cast onto your ship, along with shouts from its crew notifying you that their captain will be boarding. Several well-armed men cross the planks, their eyes watching every inch of your ship. The crowd parts open to make way for their captain, a tall, well-dressed man. He peers at you with one impeccably groomed eyebrow raised. Following behind the captain and in stark contrast strides an unkempt Orlan. A pair of pistols grips protrude from his belt, and he casually twirls a stocky firearm round his index finger. His shaggy face framed by long cobalt blue hair and a wildly braided cerulean beard makes the crooked smirk he directs at you seem almost sinister.
Ado, Water of Cadno. On behalf of the Principi Sen Patrina, I must request we meet in parley.
The broad-shouldered captain tilts his chin in greeting. When he smiles, his left cheek develops a shallow dimple. You have my attention.
Agrasima. I will make this quick.
He flourishes a courtly bow.
I have heard some marvelous tales regarding your ventures in the Deerwood. In fact, you are the first dragon slayer I have ever met, outside of a grave. Some fools would seek to make a fortune by pilfering from one such as you.
I take it he is not one of those fools. Perhaps we should listen.
Olaf crosses his arms, cautious but curious. Are you having a problem there? Can't seem to find your foot on where you can walk? Under the captain's words, you hear a faint but insistent buzzing. It blooms, overwhelming Furnate's voice, drowning out all else around you. No one else seems to notice. A vision. Thunder cracks between your ears, and you glimpse the different sunshod sea behind your eyes. Let the visions come. The visions streak across your mind's eye, fleeting and incoherent. An elf, dark-haired and battle-scarred, stepping across the gulf between vessels. She shakes Fahrenheit's hand, and warmth spills through you. Excitement, pride, respect. The imagery melts like candle wax into a lamp-lit galley swamped with the scent of unwatered rum and sweet fruit, with sailors and their songs and sweat. The scene billows away, ice cold and clawing, replaced with the crew on deck, solemn and staring, as Fahrenheit grasps one of their own by the throat. Not one of their own, no more. You don't steal from family and stay family. Tears and mucus mar the man's features as Ferrant reads the man his last rites. Thief or no, they'll consign him to Andra as tradition dictates. The vision passes, leaving you blindly on the deck of the Defiant, looking into Ferrant's face. He raises an eyebrow.
I believe you have met such a fool. Captain Benweth of the Drake.
Despite the gravity of his words, he smiles grandly, and the dimple cuts deeper into his left cheek. Let's see. You say this Captain Benweth is the one who attacked me?
The short-sighted scoundrel has been wreaking havoc in the area for months. He is no son of Velia. I do not fault his ancestry, but he disregards too much the grand heritage we Principi represent. Benweth is the second most selfish captain within the Principi's newest generation. He risks all that we value.
If Benweth's the second most selfish captain, who's the first? He pinches at his lips, eyes narrowing thoughtfully, but you can see that he's biting back a mischievous grin.
Perhaps I have said too much. This is a problem solely of my own, for now.
Why accept non-Valians into the Principi if they're going to cause problems?
Few pirates retire comfortably, amigo. We sink and we hang or we burn. We must replace our losses, accepting from many regions, including the Deadfire.
The Principi's heritage is Old Valian?
We are descended from refugees who fled during Old Valia's decline. They sailed the eastern reach to the Deadfire, but they did not settle the islands. Today, even, our shipboard life continues.
Wait, who are the Principes in Petrina?
This is the first you are hearing of us, truly?
His brows raise in a show of surprise. But then his smile turns sly, and he cants his head, as if to include you in his secret.
We are a magnificent but largely landless people, so we have come to own the sea. To survive, we must seize prosperity where we can. Hence, we are oft labeled as pirates, smugglers, merchants of illicit trade, or mercenaries. It will not always be so, but it is for now.
Where's the option to not say number 1? Alright, guess we got no choice. If Benweth is one of your own, shouldn't you take responsibility for his actions?
Benweth is no captain of mine, Aimiko. It is not beneath my flag his drake sails. Yet I do seek to temper his actions when they would endanger the Principe altogether.
Where might I find Captain Benweth? Say I wanted to teach him a lesson.
Benweth's drake took damage during the storm. Eventually, he will need to dock for repairs, and when he does, Seraphin can find him for you.
Ferrant flourishes a hand toward the Orlan at his side.
He is rather an unrefined creature, but he is a most skilled ship hunter, I assure you.
Unrefined? Begging your pardon, Captain, but I'd be the fucking model of the gentleman of fortune.
The Orlan scoffs.
As for Benweth, that sucker of squid tits be as predictable as the tide. I'd wager all my furriest bits that he'd set sail for Deadlight.
That would be felicitous indeed, as I believe the traitor Remaro hides there as well. I quite enjoy killing 2 men with a single bullet.
Wouldn't have even thought of it if you hadn't brought it up, sir.
Yet you feel a surge of anger that's not your own. Seraphin spins toward you and bows again.
Now, I ain't hardly in any hurry to leave the fine company of the gentlemen of leisure, but the captain be right about me finding your mark. Adding to that, you sail into Fort Deadlight not knowing your innies from your outies, you might very well find the locals cannon fucking your boat to sodden splinters.
He grins broadly. Why loan me your best ship hunter?
What venture does not require an investment to be prosperous? The Seraphin is an allowance, which I expect you will return, in one payment or another.
And what can you do for me?
Are you asking aside from my vaunted ship hunting abilities, self-evident manners, and encyclopedic know-how of all things piratical?
Teeth glint between the curves of his smile. A lost face is as still as a mask, but his eyes blaze. Yes, aside from the obvious.
Well, there'll be me knowing my way around Fort Deadlight, so named on account of it being a fortress and all. I got my contacts inside, and I'll be half handy with a gun if shit goes belly up. Adding to that, I'll be right easy on the eyes, or so the lasses tell me.
He raises his eyebrows into 2 quick bumps. Quite easy.
I'll be the old package and a half, Captain.
He bows again, only half as low as this time, his eyes never leaving yours. Aloth sighs through his nose.
As you see, Seraphin is both insufferable and marvelously useful.
Seems like you're eager to join me.
Well, of course I'll be eager to give Benweth the old Evo. That half-cock's been a pain in our asses for the better part of, well, too fucking long. You said you met him, Seems the type that needs a bullet, don't he?
He projects his words a tad louder than necessary. And unfortunately, I can't use insight here. I would leave that to him, but it looks like that's not an option here. We'll probably have to give him up, but that's fine. Welcome aboard, Seraphin.
Oh, you won't be regretting this, Watcher. At least so long as you keep us heavy in grog and light on the onions. Ugh, them dirty shit apples ain't never agreed with me, and I'll be suspecting they never will.
He pats his belly as he strides to your side.
He's not sleeping near my berth, I promise you that much.
I sail now for Dunwich, my own safe port. I will await you there. should you be successful in schooling our wayward captain.
So, he can either be a cipher or a barbarian. But we've kind of already got that in me, so cipher it is. Alright, let's continue to make our way to the port. Alright, and so with that, we are going to call this an episode. If you enjoyed today's content, please do make sure to subscribe and click the bell to know whenever I do go live, or whenever I do put out new video content. I also have a Discord, link to that is in the description. You'll find me in there immediately after this episode. And once again, thank you for joining me today. This is PrinceBrightstar signing off. I'll catch you next time.